my sunburn looks a lot more noticeable than it has been anywhere else. But hey, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, Lemon himself, Zeke Lamone, and this is my review for the Season 2 finale of The Last of Us. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Share, I'm to leave a like, comment below, let me know your thoughts on The Last of Us, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? Wow, the sunburn looks really bad with this setup. But hey, it is what it is. So yeah, The Last of Us Season 2 has officially come to a close. Half of the game has now been played, and boy, what a finale that it was. And you know, I've been talking about it, that this was my most anticipated show. Nay, my most anticipated piece of media that was coming out, whether it be a movie or a television show, any form of entertainment. I was most looking forward to this all of 2025. And within that, your expectations are set pretty high. And overall, did the show meet those expectations? I mean, it would be almost impossible to, but they did a pretty damn good job. I will say that. Now, is this a lock for my favorite TV show of the year? I would say no. Right now, I think Andor has a pretty good hold on it, but I'm pretty sure at some point I will rewatch this season later this year, now that it is complete. And I will probably also rewatch all of Andor at some point, and then watch Rogue One again at some point. Then maybe I'll be able to get a solidified answer on what's number one and number two. But if this show isn't one, which it probably won't be, like I'm pretty sure it's going to be Andor, then this is a pretty good lock for silver. I don't know what other show it could even be in competition for at this point. And this finale was did not bring it any down. It didn't bring it any up. It was just a good episode overall. Now, some of the things I am going to reserve how I feel depending on the execution later on within it, because the overall arching theme of this is pretty much the overarching theme of the game, and that is revenge is not the answer. They keep hammering it home with Ellie, like, look, this is wrong, this is wrong. You should not be doing this. You should not be doing this. It's been teased throughout, and I really like those teases. But to really make it the forefront here, to make it as clear as possible that Ellie, you should not proceed in your pursuit for Abby, and to make it so upfront, especially with how this episode ends, and I'm glad I can finally talk openly about what we do within the structure of this. I don't have to go, okay, now you have to click away, like I did in every other episode here, is that, you know, we do kick off season 3 from Abby's point of view, from the ending of this. You know, it shows Abby at the theater after she's killed Jesse. Tommy's on the ground. She goes to shoot Ellie. We cut to black. We're in black for a long time. I do kind of wish that was the credits, and, you know, everyone's just in a frenzy for the next 2 years, and then we get to episode 1. But hey, I understand completely why. Hey, let's let them know now, when we get to season 3, it's going to be Abby's story, because you're going to say, all right, we live you off with this hell of a cliffhanger. We're going to have you wait 2 years, and now you're going to follow the villain, or who you perceive as the villain right now, but now you're going to get their point of view. It's very bold. It's a very bold move, and I honestly really respect the hell out of it. But I do kind of wish that everyone, because I cannot imagine after this episode, especially after conversations with Jesse, I do think everyone's still going to be on Ellie's side. Absolutely, especially with how Jesse went out. It is like very bleak. It's very quick, and it, you know, especially how like he kept. I mean, they made it really obvious he was going to die anyway. But you know, he's going, I need to make sure that myself get out of here and my child get out of here, because I can't die. I can't die. You know, like throughout the whole entire thing, he's like, we just got to make sure we survive through this. And, you know, the conversations that he'll be having with Ellie. And I really love the scene that they had at the rooftop, too, going, look, we need to get to Tommy and we need to get out of Seattle. Yes, you do. And Ellie's like, no. And, you know, the whole debate about community, my community died here and all that. That was a very good scene as well. And then, you know, of course, you know, in the way he dies, like, you get really attached to Jesse throughout. I was already attached to Jesse because I liked him in the game. And I thought the actor who was portraying him, which I do apologize that I did not get his name, that he did a very good job in the show as well, that I was attached to him in the show as well. but I really got endeared to him throughout this episode. And once, that gunshot happens, it just hurt a little bit more. And, I've been saying that throughout. Like, a lot of things that they adapted on this, they really did adapt it very well. Where, like, yeah, the punches are a little bit more potent when they do happen. Because, yeah, like, I was mad. I had chills. Like, I was just excited because, like, it was coming to life and I was feeling something that I knew what was going to happen, and yet I still felt something. That's very special what you're able to do. And then you cut back and it looks exactly like the game, the way she wakes up, even the walk as you're going through. I was like, come on, let me see the link. Let me see the link. There we are in that CenturyLink field, and you see how big the WLF is, and it says Seattle Day 1, cut to black credits. Now you know, okay, we're getting Abby's point of view. And you have 2 years to sit with that. It's just very interesting to see. But I do kind of wish that we didn't go gung-ho about it. Granted, we probably would have lost some viewership when we got there, because, business-wise, I get why we did what we did and why we were telling the story that we were telling, because you do got to be more upfront with it, right? But if we are just fully on Ellie's side that this was the right thing to do, and then to completely get Abby's point of view, it just changes that dynamic a little bit. I know it's different from a game to a video, from a game to a TV show, because in the game you spend $60 and you're not just going to stop playing after you spend $60 to play the game. You're going to give it a shot, even though you are hating watching this, or you're hating playing this character who killed someone you grew really attached to because you played them in the previous game. On the TV show, you just go, I don't want to watch. Click. I'm spending $20 or whatever a month for 60 million shows. I don't need to commit to this anymore. I do completely get that. But, the scene between Dina and Ellie, when Ellie comes clean about why these people killed Joel. And, it harps back to that scene earlier on where, they're going, look, I know Joel didn't deserve what got to him. And I'm just like, yeah, he kind of did. And then Ellie's coming clean going, look, I know, it's not just that she told me. I know why they did it, and yet I still couldn't stop. Like, I wanted to hurt her, and it was so easy for me to do that. And again, when she sees the will, she knows it. It doesn't matter about Dina. It doesn't matter about the baby. It doesn't matter about Jesse. It doesn't matter about Tommy. It's her pursuing her mission to get Abby. And then we get to the scar scene as well. Well, before I get to the scar scene, let me wrap up my thought process with the whole Dina thing. With the way that it was portrayed with the Dina and Ellie scene, that she just has to do it. It's making it seem like the revenge is for the wrong reasons, right? Like, oh, revenge, because again, later on within the story, they have a conflict about this whole journey, if you will. And it's perceived as revenge is just wrong. It doesn't matter the reason. You just don't do it. There's just too much to lose if you do this. It's a vicious cycle, because if you get them, then someone else is going to come back at you, blah, 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 right? And this is just made it seem like, well, now that I know Joel kind of deserved it, I don't really want to do this anymore. And I just don't know. Again, and this goes back to the whole point of I can't really comment on that scene, but I do know after that scene was over, I didn't necessarily love it, because again, it just made it perceived as, well, you got revenge for the wrong reason. If there was actual justice within it, then okay, but right now, it was just for the wrong reasons. But again, we'll see when we get to a scene later on within the story where I really line within that, and I will harp back to this scene quite a bit, or not quite a bit, but I will harp back to this scene when that scene happens later on, presumably season 3. I heard we're probably going to try to stretch this into 4. I don't think it's necessarily needed. I think we might be pushing our luck a little bit if we stretch this second game into not just 2 seasons, but 3. And I don't know how many episodes season 3 is expected to be. I'm always been a huge fan of this being 7. I think let's bring back 10. Let's bring back 13 episode seasons. I think we probably could have done this whole game in maybe 13 episodes, and it would have been just fine. with the structure that we had these 7, and then 8, 9, and 10 is Abby, and then we go, because it's an episode per day. That's what they did here, and I guess 8, 9, 10, and 11 would be Abby, because you do one flashback episode if you were to give the exact same treatment, and then you have a couple extra episodes to wrap it up, right? But yeah, that scene right there with Dina and Ellie is just going to be very potent later on, and I'm not sure how I feel about it until we get there later. But back to where, we go back to, she goes over out with Jesse, and, this is where we start, hey, revenge is just wrong. You shouldn't just go out for it, because it's only out for you. It's not out for the others that are around you. Because, yes, you lost Joel, but you got Dina, who's pregnant now and who you put in harm's way. You got me, who's the father of the child. You got them in harm's way. Your uncle, Tommy, is in harm's way as well. All because you can't let go. Because you can't let go. And then she goes and she finds this boat. She gets on Scar Island and she's going to die. And this has been very potent throughout the whole season. Like, she keeps getting in trouble. She keeps getting close to death because she cannot let this go. And that this is like, every sign is pointing at her. You can't be doing this. She gets over. She finds Owen and Mel. Shoots them both. I don't remember in the game if she accidentally shoots Mel, or she does purposely shoot both of them and then she realizes she's pregnant. Now, what we did here, where she's going, hey, you can still save the baby, but you're going to have to cut it out. I thought we were going to do it, and when I tell you my anxiety was up so fucking high, I am kind of glad we didn't, and that, she did just let a baby die, because that is, very, very morbid. And yeah, she still has that eeriness, that sickness, that regretfulness when it does happen. But I do kind of prefer it if she did purposely meant to shoot and then realize, oh shit, she was pregnant just like Dina. And then there was this whole, that whole wave of, what am I doing? Why do I have to do this? And then, of course, we get to the end where Jesse comes clean going, look, I know you would burn the world for me if I was ever in trouble, and never gets the chance, because then there's Abby, and then, we cut to black, and then there we are. So overall, again, I liked the episode. It was very good. Not my favorite. I still think episode 5. Yeah, episode 5 to me was my favorite one, because, we had the stalker scene, and we had that amazing scene between Ellie and whoever Abby's friend was, and we got to see spores for the first time. We got a different sets of action. Like, I just really felt like that episode was really firing all the cylinders. After that is probably episode 6, and then this one is in the middle somewhere. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the season. I had a really good time with it. It is a shame that we have to wait 2 years, especially with it being one game. I feel like we could just continue on, especially because you have to worry about aging, right? Like, I know all these people are adults, and they won't age much, but you're still going to see it quite a bit. Well, not quite a bit, but it's still going to be noticeable, like, hey, they look a little bit older than they did, even though we're going back in time to day one. I don't know. We'll see how it goes when we get to 2027. But yeah, I am ready for it to come over here. By 2027, it'll be my most anticipated piece of entertainment by that point, unless it's another Spider-Man movie. I mean, there's other things that could take it to the top, because we'll mainly focus on Abby, but I do like the Abby story quite a bit. But let me know what y'all think of this season down in the comment section. Leave a like if you made it this far within a review. I do greatly appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button for me, as that will be sun lotion for this horrible sunburn that I have, that I really did not notice throughout the whole entire day. I don't even feel it. I actually thought it might be a little bit of a tan, but man, this lighting is making it very clear. No, I'm red. So yeah, hit that subscribe button for me, as that will be your way to keep your prayers up for me. Hopefully I don't get sun poison. I won't. But yeah, until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.